GM. Welcome back to Noun O'Clock live at the Noun Square. I'm Robot Fish Girl. We're watching the end of the auction for Noun 1303. It's Cotton Ball we picked up yesterday. If you want to check out the end of the auction with us, you can go to nounoclock.live or nomo.wtf. That's nounoclock.live or nomo.wtf. They'll both take in the same place, which is right here. While you're at it, you can pick up Nomo now, number 1303, this Dune Chameleon we got yesterday, which is 0.00069 ETH, that's $1.71 USD. 100% of the proceeds go to the Yellow Collective Treasury, which goes to funding artists on chain, the Nouniverse, and beyond. We've got 1 minute left on the auction, currently sitting at 2.69 from CXY.ETH. He's already picked up 2 nouns, is looking to pick up a third. So we're going to see if he manages to get it. This has been about the going price, so we might not see another bid imminently. I am being told that for some folks, they cannot see the tavern link in the description of the YouTube, but I went ahead and put it in the comments. If you're on Twitter and you can't see it, go ahead and reply, and I will find you and send you the tavern link there. But it should be in the description of the stream. And we did get another bid right at the last second, 2.75 coming in from 0x0461. Speaking of tavern, if you are joining us from YouTube and Twitter and you would like to see any of the links that we talk about today here on the show, including nounoclock.live and yellowcollective.xyz, which is where the Nomo nouns go, then you should join the tavern. Click that link if it is there. It should be. I don't know why it wouldn't be, but if it is there, go ahead and click that link and join us here on Tavern. This is where all of the links live. This is where we are talking live. And if you want to hop up on stage, you are more than welcome to. We love having new people join the conversation. There's also less lag over here. But either way, if you prefer YouTube or Twitter, that is absolutely A-okay with us. 4 minutes left on this timer. How y'all doing? How was your Sunday? Symbiotech, Brett? Yard worky?
Yeah.
I love when English lets you verb nouns.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, did the gutters and hung out with the cat in the sun. Now I'm the type to leave the leaves on the lawn as per Jane Goodall's advice. Food and fuel and whatnot for insects.
Yes.
Future
I was going to
soil.
say, I feel like people might not know off the top of their head what Jane Goodall's advice is or was. I feel like that is a particularly you
She still
thing
is.
No, I know that she's still alive. I mean, the advice.
Yes. I know.
I know she's not
She's
dead.
out there drumming up the vote for nature. So I'm for it. I've seen her like she was hanging out with Post Malone a few days ago, I think. Going around doing concerts. She's in her 90s, or if she's not 90, she might be 91 now.
Hanging out with Post Malone is something that I feel like a lot of people that I follow tangentially do. And I don't know how that dude gets everywhere.
Right? Country.
He's omnipresent. No, like you don't like I was watching this is a couple years ago. I was watching one of my favorite like Apex Legends streamers, and he just started playing games with Post Malone out of nowhere. Like there was no context.
Right.
He just showed up like as a party member in these trios. And it wasn't like a big thing. It was just like, oh yeah, Posty's here. Like wow.
Yeah.
Anyway. God damn it. Yes to Crypto's in the YouTube chat saying I heard she's into bored apes. I get it.
I just want to concur the Post Malone omnipotence.
Dude's everywhere.
Have y'all noticed his ad campaign? Like, I was in Kroger and like there's a poppy flavor named after Post Malone, and then I'm at Cane's and like he has like some kind of collab with Cane's. It's like the craziest campaign I've ever seen. For
Dude's
like,
everywhere.
He's literally everywhere.
He's everywhere, but I haven't heard his music in like a year.
Literally.
Like I don't know.
Snippets.
And like I don't.
That's how it gets you out to the shows, man. He doesn't sing anywhere but
I'm
on
not even
stage.
mad about it. Like by all accounts, he's a wonderful human being. But like it's just so weird seeing him everywhere. It's not that he is everywhere. It's that he is everywhere except where I would expect to see him. I think that's the thing. Like if I see him everywhere and I also see him at like the top banner of Spotify, then I'm like, okay, this makes sense. Like they're doing this big ad campaign. But no, dude's just around. Also, hi Leo.
Yo, what's up? Chilling. Hi.
How was I'm gonna interrogate you about the yellow EP, but it does look like the auction is ending pretty soon. So if you're not there already, nounoclock.live, nomo.wtf, we've got 30 seconds left on the auction. We will see if it ends or if we get another bid in the next 20 seconds. Nounoclock.live, nomo.wtf once again. You wanna watch pick the next noun with us? Hopefully, we might get botted again. We are looking into fixing that if we can. All right, it's too late for another bid to come in. We're playing the feud. It is
Time for FOMO.
If you've been here before, you know the drill, but just in case you haven't, thumbs up the nouns you like, thumbs down the nouns you don't. If we get enough thumbs ups in the first 2 seconds or so of seeing a noun, that is going to be the noun that's on auction for the next 24 hours. We are still looking for a snake. And this has been happening every day where there's more people.
We have to downvote everything.
Yeah, where there's more upvotes than
No.
people
there it
playing.
goes.
I think that one might be it. That one probably was
Yeah.
fast enough. Oh,
Nope.
maybe not.
Well, hopefully not this one.
That one came in a little late. Ugh.
Oh my god.
That's
Wasn't
a
it just
weird
sketchy?
looking noun. I like the noggles and the shirt matching, but
Yeah, at least the matches.
I don't hate this one. It's not good, but it's better than that mustard. I kind of like this one. Photography wave. Still mad. I've been upset about this trade ever since you told me what the name of it was, Brett.
It's a rangefinder.
Rangefinder.
It's a
There
fucking
is no
camera.
lens on it. It's not a camera.
Well, it should be. And the fact that it isn't makes me upset.
There's all kinds of
Trying to get
bizarre
all the
stuff in the collection.
Little PP shreds on the shirt.
Why?
Yeah,
Why
like
would
he
you
cut himself
say
shaving
that?
all over the place.
Why would you
dab here,
say
little dab
that?
Because he loves it.
Oh my god.
That's a good
Oh, I saw
one.
one earlier with a band shirt.
Oh, I voted up. Didn't get it. Oh,
You voted up on the
Yeah, I
oyster?
think-
Okay,
yeah,
well, I
that's
guess
a
we
good
did
one.
get it.
Probably have one on the clipboard still.
1304, and now it is time for Nomo nouns. If you're not there already, nounoclock.live, nomo.wtf. You're going to see all of these nouns arrayed before you. You're going to pick your favorite from among them.
Choose your character.
Spam click it with all your might every 10 seconds. Half of them are eliminated until we're left with just one. That's going to be the Nomo noun of the day. Make sure you have signed in with your wallet or your clicks will not be counted. Very important. Sign in with your
Blueberry.
wallet or your clicks will not be counted. Nobody
Hockey
gets
puck.
any points for guessing which one I'm clicking on.
Look at that cone. Jesus.
The cone is pretty good.
Capybara is really nice.
I really like that blueberry, honestly.
Sunsetting
clean.
Eve.
Rose hip raffle rat.
The hockey puck is good too. A lot of good ones in this round. But there can only be one. We're playing the feud. 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Casual cone. It's a good puck.
The casual cone is good. I think the puck is really good.
Swagger Barra.
I'm obviously clicking on the Pride radio.
I want the blueberry
Oh,
cone.
the capybara is really good too. Damn. So many good ones. I like this mouse more than the Igloo. I'm saving it for one round at least. You know, the more I look at it, the more I think I like the cone more than the radio.
Can't tell if they're reds or orange at this size, but like red.
Okay. You know what? I'm switching to the cone. Screw it.
Oh, the blueberry's gonna die.
Sorry, Tobias.
Final round. Band shirt, hockey puck versus casual cone. Who will win? Who will lose? 3, 2, 1, fight!
The cone is the
I'm
goal.
just gonna screen cap this. Stopped and lost. Shoot.
Hockey puck wins. Fatality.
That is a good looking noun. If you want to pick up this Nomo noun number 1304, this band shirt hockey puck, it's very grayscale on our nouns Nomo red background. You can do so for just 0.00069 ETH. That's $1.71 USD. 100% of the proceeds go to the Yellow Collective Treasury, which goes to funding artists on chain, the Nouniverse, and beyond. Speaking of the Yellow Collective, congratulations to Invady7.eth for picking up this Eraserhead from yesterday, and we're going to go ahead and settle that auction and see what we get for collective noun number 374. When it lets me. There we go. And collective noun number 374 is not loaded yet. There it is.
Oh, my.
A beautiful Viking helmet with a red striped shirt on a yellow background. If you want to pick up collective noun number 374, you can do so at yellowcollective.xyz. Like I said earlier, the Yellow Collective is devoted to funding artists in the Nouniverse and beyond. And that is not just visual artists. It's not just digital or physical or sculptors. You can be a photographer. You can be a musician. Hint, hint. Any kind of art is something that the Yellow Collective is interested in funding. Speaking of musicians, teeing myself up there, Leo just finished a Yellow EP recording boot camp. How would you put it? You were there for like 3 days. Is there
Yeah,
our
I'm calling it
first
like
past proposal?
let's go. Yeah, I'm calling it the Yellow Project. I think that's where we're landing. But yeah, it was just like a 3-day songwriting camp. Made some awesome like music. It's mostly production, and then like most of the songs have like a hook that incorporates. Basically, the concept was like the Yellow community voted on like 5 traits for me to write about. Like Snail was kind of the first run. We made a song called Snail over the summer, but yeah, so
I'm gonna
5
underscore what you're
songs.
talking about with Snail while you talk.
Let's go. But yeah, so yeah, 5 songs based on Yellow traits, and still working on them, but yeah, it's fun.
Awesome. So what all was happening during this camp? Like you were just you said it was it recording, or was it mostly, writing and figuring that stuff out and then recording is happening later, or what's going on? I figured it was probably mostly recording.
Yeah, so I worked with like jazz musicians, so we made all the production like from like nothing. So
yeah, we tend to do
most of
that.
it,
Okay.
yeah. Oh, do you play jazz?
Yeah, I went to school for jazz voice, but I also got a
What?
double major in percussion with tap shoes. So
You're like, I can't believe you're a real person.
I started as an opera major, and then after a year, I was like, "This is tedious." I really enjoyed it, but I didn't want to get too heavily into classical pedagogy, so
What? You have like
I
too many talents. It's like scary.
I switched to I was a vocal jazz major. That was my whole shtick for 4 years. I've performed at pretty much every club in New York.
What the frick?
Yeah,
Okay,
I've
I'm
done
shocked.
Blue Note, Mesro, Smalls,
What in the
every club
world?
in Harlem.
You need to make like, I don't know, like a movie or something.
I did. It's called
Um.
Shark Pickle Cone. No,
Oh yeah,
I
about your life.
no, but they're yeah, I was a jazz major, and then I also, yeah, like I said, I
Very
studied.
cool.
I'm a rhythm tapper, so Not so much. I
Yeah,
can do Broadway tap, but my focus is in improvisational rhythm tap.
that's fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think jazz musicians are just my favorite. Like the way they hear, it's like it's a mix of like the training mixed with like a like the kind of weird alternative style. It's a cool
Yeah.
combination. But
Jazz musicians are
go ahead.
universally like nerds who never got the memo that they were supposed to be uptight.
Mm-hmm. Literally,
Like
that's how I see it.
we're all theory nerds. Every last one of us.
Yeah.
But as a result, we end up being like, yeah, no, it's whatever. And then you get us started talking about theory, and it sounds like it's the musical equivalent of nuclear physics.
Yeah.
And then
I high
there's
key
my friends who are just like, yeah, just put the diminished scale on everything. It'll be fine.
period. I high key like this week or last week made me want to like 100%. I'm learning freaking theory because it just made me realize how like handicapped I am by
You
by
wanna
not.
you want me to give you
Yeah,
a free, like, the best resource you will ever find?
absolutely.
Look up the Jazz Theory book by Mark Levine. It's on
Bet.
Amazon. You can get it. It is like $30, I think. He also has the jazz piano book. I would recommend getting both of them if you have any piano experience at all. I went into that not knowing how to really play the piano. Like, I understood the basics. I could, see the theory on the keys, but I did not have any mechanical skill. Now I can play piano, and I have a much deeper understanding of jazz theory. You will learn everything you ever need to learn from a book from that book, and everything else you learn from experience. The Jazz Theory book by Mark Levine. It is better than a college education in jazz theory. And I'm saying this as someone who has experienced both. And I'm parroting my professors when I say this. A collegiate jazz education, you go there to make connections. If you want to learn jazz theory, you read that book. Seriously. And read it in front of a piano so you can, fuck around with the theory in a tactile way.
Should I read the piano book first before the theory
No, the
book?
theory book first, and then actually you should do them simultaneously. But if you're going to pick one or the
Gotcha.
other, the theory book is better. The theory book is
Okay.
more general. The piano book is a good way of mastering the theory in a tactile sense.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, this is what it is. Theory book is the what. Piano book is the how. Piano book gets you the mechanical skills. The theory book gets you the mental skills. And I do recommend both, but if you have to pick one, especially because you're mostly a vocalist, yeah? Or do you do instrumental stuff? If you're talking, your mic's muted.
Hello, hello.
There we go.
Oh, I've been talking a lot. That's bad.
No, I could hear you before. It was that last bit that you
Oh,
were disappeared. But yeah, if you're
gotcha.
mostly a vocalist, right?
Yeah, total vocalist. I produced in Ableton, but like,
Yeah.
nah, I don't play instruments or
Jazz
anything.
theory book is the one that you're going to want to start with. The piano book you could do secondary. It is supplementary, but the theory book is the main one. Also,
Okay.
anybody else
I
who's
also
interested in
have a
music theory, check that out. It's very intuitive.
I also have like a I'm very impatient, so like I kind of just like to learn on the fly so that like stuff that I can apply immediately. That's another thing. Or else I
Okay,
might
then
just
go into
not
the
do it.
table of contents, go to the jazz theory book, look up the diminished scale, and you will
Bet.
and read that chapter, and you'll be able to solo over any changes ever. I am
Bet.
only slightly joking.
I think the for me the worst problem is like I don't know the scales like committed to my memory. So like like if something's in C major, I can like do a really bad solo because obviously it's all white keys. But like the biggest hurdle for me is just remembering like all the scales and what keys not to hit.
Yeah, that's something that you can practice over time. Um, but basically the main ones you're gonna need are, first thing you have to understand is that music theory is a myth. You don't need like
Hmm.
all notes are in every scale. Every note is in every key.
Yeah. Sheesh.
Yes, I have listened to. There's a reason all of the sounds on our soundboard sound like this,
Alpha.
and it's because I listened to far too much Jacob Collier.
Fire.
Like that's literally all of the like. You should listen. Like listen. This is jazz theory.
Blow up time.
That's what that is.
Oh, fire.
17-part harmony. The only ones you ever really need to know are major, obviously, chromatic. For jazz, you're gonna want to know octatonic, which is mostly used in like modern classical and jazz, and
Whoa.
pentatonic, which I'm pick up a guitar, you'll know pentatonic.
Yeah. Okay.
But also, yeah, there's a whole bunch of other ones like Phrygian dominant and everything. It's a sort of a mode of the harmonic minor. You'll learn all of that, and what's important isn't just knowing what they're called. That is less important than knowing how they sound. So if
Okay.
you have to pick one of the two, train your ear before you train your brain.
Yeah. I mean, I have like a pretty refined ear, but I just don't know. I don't have any knowledge of what I'm hearing or what I'm, playing, singing.
Yeah. So yeah, you'll be fine.
Okay. Was there something we were talking about?
We were talking about the Yellow Project, and then we went down a rabbit hole of
Yeah.
jazz theory, which one should never do, because if y'all thought I was a nerd about salad theory,
Salad theory.
don't
Interesting.
ask. Just don't ask.
No, that's cool. Cool to know.
Yeah.
But
But yeah, how
yeah,
did it go?
it was awesome. It was cool meeting Jack in person for the first time. If he felt like a physical embodiment of like Yellow being there, so that was cool,
Yeah, he does
and
that.
being able to like, bounce, see how he feels about stuff and like whatever. Um, I love jazz musicians. Like, I was able to pay everybody and just like lock them in the studio for 3 days, and that's like kind of been my dream. It feels like I had like a label budget for like one album, and I was able to like get my full vision in terms of music like fully realized for the first time ever. So shout out to Toady. This was actually Toady's idea. So shout out to him for being the reason that all this happened. But yeah, and it was like I also am like so stickler about my writing process. Like I never use co-writers or anything. So for me to like completely put my hands up and say like you guys are gonna pick what I'm writing about was like super scary for me. I originally was like toying with the idea of like I'm picking half the songs and then the community will pick the other half, or like I'll have like a higher weighted vote. But I just landed on like I'm just gonna let the community decide, and then whatever they pick is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah,
And
you
like
treat
that
it
was
like
the
a
scariest.
commission,
Yeah, that was the scariest part of the whole process. But
for
that's what
sure.
I did, and honestly, it was super challenging, but it like really stretched my ability to like like to write to a brief. It was so fun and difficult. We were like watching documentaries about alligators to like get inspiration. It was crazy.
Oh man, I'm
But
glad I
nah.
wasn't there. I would have turned it into like a metal track with gator bellows in the background. Like,
That would be fire.
like I
That'd
could
be
do it.
crazy. But nah. Sure. But now I'm super excited. Like we're making some of the craziest music I've ever made in my whole life. And yeah, I can't wait to show everybody what's cooking.
I'm so excited. What were the? Can you remind everybody what the heads were? Because I
Yeah,
forget.
I don't think I ever announced them. I just put it in the chat, but it was Zorb, Radio, Alligator, Worm, and Red Flag. So that's the 8 songs.
Alpha.
Right.
Awesome. Oh, Zorb is gonna be fun.
Zorb is Zorb is phenomenal. I'm trying to find a way to put like it's the hardest one because like Zorb, if you say Zorb, everyone's gonna catch it, and I'm all
Yeah,
about
you gotta
like the
hide that
lyrics have
shit
to just flow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The lyrics have to flow. I don't want anything to stick out. So trying to find a way to just fit Zorb in is hard. But like, we have the concept for sure, and it's like we're kind of like we're kind of like making a metaphor for like a Zorb, and it's pretty interesting.
I could definitely my concept of Zorb would be like some weird microtonal shit, so I'm glad you were doing this. I
Ooh, we like microtones.
Oh, we do? Oh, well, I know what I'm playing for the outro
We
music
do.
today.
What's that
Sorry,
guy?
the Zorb's a theremin.
Fire.
Yeah, I was going with modular synth, but theremin works. Oh man, I haven't played with my modular with my rack in forever. I need to get back to that. Okay.
There's this guy who plays an instrument, and it's just like a grid of like circles. That's what microtones makes me think of. It's like a MIDI. It's like a MIDI thing, and it's just like hella different tones. I gotta go find it.
I'm curious because there's a few instruments that I think would count as that. Like it could be wait, okay, are you talking about like the off grid? The like MIDI fighter, it looks like a video game controller, like the
Maybe.
Discover Grid, where you
What's it?
put like
What's it called?
samples on it. It's like a big grid of samples.
Maybe it is
My
that. What's
first
it called?
thought so the MIDI fighter is the first one that comes to mind for me, which I think you can just go to like midifighter.com.
Yeah,
Is the
I think it's literally that. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. The first thing that comes to mind for me for microtones after a modular synth, which doesn't really, it just looks like you knocked a hole in a spaceship. But the first thing that comes to mind for me after that is have you ever seen a Lumatone? The isomorphic keyboard?
I haven't actually. Oh,
It is
is it?
for a theory head like me, it is beautiful. But it's basically like imagine if every keyboard had like a whole bunch of microtones layered on top and below it, and all of the keys are like hexagons. So it's laid out in this giant grid. Here, let me find a picture of it because it's sick as hell. Yeah, there we go. That'll work. I'll upload this to the tavern so everybody can see what I'm talking about.
Can you post links?
Yeah, that's the Lumatone. Look, if
Okay.
you check pinned up above, this is what I'm talking about. Such a weird keyboard.
Yeah, that's the instrument I was thinking of.
Oh, the
I'm
Lumatone.
gonna find the guy
Okay.
I was talking about. There's this guy who's like a wizard on the Lumatone. I'm gonna go find him.
There's a lot. Pretty much everybody who plays it with any degree of confidence is a fucking wizard. Because so for anybody who doesn't know what this is, the Lumatone is essentially it's a keyboard, but it's more like a harmonic table, and it's surprisingly intuitive. One of my friends in Brooklyn had it. And it's basically you play it just like you would a piano, but then it's actually more like an organ where you can move around to different tones, and it intelligently tells you what scales you're in and like what is possible and what is dissonant and what it makes things really really intuitive to do weird theory stuff with, and I very much enjoy it. It's very good tool for harmonic discovery if that's your bag, um in a way that it's basically the only like physical instrument I've found that replicates the discovery element of a modular synthesis. And if you're interested in learning about modular synth and you can't afford a fucking spaceship, VCV Rack is a free modular synthesis tool that is entirely virtual. So you can play modular synth tracks. You can build modular synth tracks entirely on your computer. It's very cool. You should go check it out. There's a bunch of free modules for it. It's sick. Anyway. Sorry, I'm a nerd about this stuff. And it's a light show, so I'm not worried about going off topic because the only topic we have is nouns, and I would say that an open source music software is related, which I'm also linking above for anybody who is curious. It's very complicated. There are classes on Udemy if you want to learn how to use it, and on Skillshare. Anyway, I'm so excited to hear everything that y'all produced over the span of this camp. It sounds like it was incredible. I can't wait to, now that I know that you hired jazz musicians, I can't wait. I even more can't wait to hear how this went.
And they have such it's like people with good taste also who like they play a lot of covers. One of my bassist explained it to me like we basically play thousands of covers for a living, so like we can
Yeah.
pull from any like data set that you want and like understand what you're saying and like know how to play it. And I was like, dang, that's such a cool way to explain it.
Oh yeah. Most of my peers that in New York were just, the majority of like shows would be maybe 30% jazz standards, like Great American Songbook, Autumn Leaves, that sort of thing. And then like a solid 50% would be like pop song covers, but done with like in like a live music type thing. A lot of Stevie Wonder. Um, and then the rest were like requests from the audience, which just randomly varied. And the thing about jazz musicians is we don't need to know a song to play it. I mean, I went to a jam. I've gone to a lot of jams, but there's a jam out in Brooklyn at this. Oh God, I can't remember the name of the club. It's like this little bar that they have Jazz Mondays at. Um, and it always, like, the first half hour of the night is like a set band, and then the rest of the evening is a jam, and people just bring their horn and blow, and it's an awesome place to hang out and learn new things. And one guy didn't know the changes to Autumn Leaves, which is one of my favorite tunes to do at jam sessions. And so I was like, okay, we're gonna do it as a bossa, and the structure is super simple. It's just 2-5-1 over the relative minor, and then you switch to the major. Then you do that again for the second day. The B, again, super simple, 2-5-1 over the major, then back to the minor, and then you flip it one more time for the last A. And it's just A, A, B, A, and we're doing an E minor. And he's like, okay, cool, played it perfectly. That was it.
That's so crazy.
It's all he needed.
If
And I
you
knew
if you
that was all he
finally
would need.
if you remember the name of that bar, please tell me. There's a jazz night in Cincinnati that I go to really often, also on Mondays. But I have a good friend who like knows all the jazz standards and like will watch her sing, and it's always maybe like fantasize about going to jazz school and like learning all these standards and being a part of that community. Such cool people that I am inspired by.
If you want to learn a lot of jazz songs on your phone, there's an app you can download called iReal Pro, which lets you build lead sheets. And then you can you can also download this huge library. So I've got in mine 1,460 songs, and they're all just lead sheets. They're all just chords. They're not even lead sheets. They're just chords. Um, it's basically a giant digital fake book. And I can go to any one of them, and I programmed a good chunk of these, but a lot of them I just downloaded. And I can put it in any key. So let's say I wanted to do Anything Goes in C, and I can set it to, let's see, 100 BPM, jazz medium swing, 3x, and then I can just hit play. Immediately. And I can do that for pretty much any tune.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's sick. So like I usually do, let's see, Autumn Leaves, E minor in a bossa, 150 BPM. C'est une chanson qui nous ressemble. Moi tu m'aimes, toi tu m'aimes. Nous vivions tous les deux ensemble. Toi qui m'aimais, moi qui t'aimais. Literally any tune. And this way, if you're ever at a jam and you want to like transpose a tune or whatever, if you have it like, you usually sing it in a weird key and your voice is shot and you need to move it down in a half step or something, you can do that on the fly and you don't have to have the changes memorized. And this will also show you, if you want it to, live, it will show you the chords on whatever instrument. So it can show you guitar fingerings, it can show you piano fingerings, one-handed or two-handed. It's got a friend of mine built this, so I'm very excited about it. Also, if you want to learn jazz piano, a friend of mine from college, Charles Cornell, has a fantastic piano course. And I know it's fantastic because he tested it on me. So I know it's good, and it rips a lot from one of our professors from Blenzig, Charles Blenzig at Purchase. So yeah.
What's this? What's it called?
iReal Pro is the app. IREAL space PRO. iReal Pro. It's on Android or iOS. It's a very good app. Anyway, I've been to St. Maisie. Sorry, I just looked over at what part of Brooklyn. I forget where it exactly it was because it's been forever. I spent most of my time at Jules, which is unfortunately dead now that after the pandemic, but Jules on St. Mark's was my home for years. Jules Bistro. I was there as an audience member often enough that I started getting hired for gigs. And then even before then, I was there often enough that like I never paid for my food. So yeah, I missed that place. I basically only ever paid for drinks there. It was the only place in New York I could get Zingu. It's this Brazilian stout, or actually a Brazilian black lager. It's really good. Anyway, enough reminiscing.
When I move to New York, I will track down whatever the place is called.
Basic. That's what it was. Basement. That's what it was. The Basic Jazz Jam Sesh. BA''SIK. Basic. I don't know if it's still happening, but it was every Sunday night at Basic. Anyway, we have been talking about jazz theory for over half an hour now. Because once I get started, I'm very difficult to stop. Smalls and Mesro are both iconic. Yeah, I've performed at both of them. Smalls rather, has these incredible jazz jam sessions that are like every night from 1 to 4 a.m. And that was my home for years. They had a tap board there that I abused on a nightly basis. There was one time where I took tap from Savion, and I happened to have a class, and then I was going to Smalls that night, and I managed to convince him to come, and that was insane. Savion Glover, for anybody who doesn't know, if you ever watched Happy Feet, he was the sound of Happy Feet's feet. He played Mumble's feet in that movie. He was like Gregory Hines' protege. So tap royalty. I mean, that dude scares me. He's incredible. But yeah, which was weird because my mom actually took tap from Gregory Hines. So between the two of us, we've both halfway decent tappers who've learned from royalty. Yeah. Anyway,
Happy Feet was like
ADHD.
my favorite movie as a kid.
Happy Feet was my nickname in middle school. Not on purpose. Teachers just called me that because I was constantly tapping under my desk because unmedicated ADHD. Now I just constantly
I
tap.
saw Tap in the theater.
Yeah, but that was my entire life. Anyway, we should talk about proposals because we've only got 20 minutes left, and good lord, are there a lot of them. So, first of all, we have two that are live right now. There's Retro Fun, Yugi Geisha's work on Noun's Terminal, which is live for the next 18 hours. So, if you haven't voted yet, definitely get your votes in soon because this will be over imminently. It's currently sitting at 67 to 2. It does, at the moment, need 77 to pass. For anybody who hasn't seen this, basically it is retro funding work on nouns.sh by a very good dev. And it's only asking for 9 ETH for multiple years of work. It's a very reasonable ask. I'm very much in favor of rewarding this sort of contribution. And I don't even use nouns.sh, so definitely check that out if you haven't yet. And check out nouns.sh. It is genuinely, it's an auction front end, and it has a lot of information that I don't use, but I'm still happy it exists because there are a few power users that I know adore that shit. So check it out if you haven't. It's a very well put together site. And my personal opinion is exactly the sort of thing we should be rewarding, even if I don't personally need it. After that, we've got Recycled Noggles board and Nounish surfboards. This is currently sitting at 5 to 30. It ends in 25 hours. Not doing too well, but hopefully if it doesn't pass, they do come back. It does look interesting. Nouns auction applying for client ID 15. Was this updated with any... Is the Nouns auction live yet? Doesn't look like it is. So there's that. NOC does a little governance and giveaways, Nouncil Unchained, and a resubmission of the... I believe this is the resubmission. Yeah, resub of the glitch prop with a much reduced ask. Looks like just went up for... it's still open for changes, as well as... What is this? Tournouncement is so clumsy. Special Magic Cup first tour announcement. TLDR, we live in an area far from the main road and is classified as a remote area. There's no paved road to our houses, so it's certain that the road is dusty during the summer and muddy during the rainy season. This unfavorable condition also occurs on our soccer field. The condition of our soccer field is not much better than the condition and access to the road. The topography of our field is sloping, actually not suitable for use as a soccer field. What is this asking for? Oh, they're looking to renovate the soccer field and make it actually suitable, asking for 9 ETH. Or not, sorry, not 9 ETH, 13 ETH. I can do reading. But yes, all of those four are still open to changes, so if you want to check those out, in order of that I read them, 8 hours, 26 hours, 42 hours, and 55 hours. So you have a fair bit of time on most of them to give your feedback, but on that, NOC does a little governance and giveaways prop. There's only 8 hours left, so if you have any feedback, get it in now. Otherwise, that's all we've got for proposals. Now we could go back to yelling about jazz theory. No, but unless anybody has anything they wanted to say about any of these props that we have currently up. I'm assuming no, but figured I'd pose the question anyway. Illuminating. All right. So, what were we saying? We're yelling about jazz theory? Oh, yeah. Jam sessions are a lot of fun. So what else has been going on? Did Nouns Fest post anything new recently? Or did they take Sunday off from dropping shorts? I haven't been active on Warpcast all day, so.
Have y'all talked about Isabel at all?
No. Oh, what, the musical? Yeah, we had the guys
Mhm.
writing it on a little bit.
Oh no! Wait, when?
Maybe a week ago.
No, I'm sad I missed that.
It was a good time.
Max
we
Max is one of
were
my homies, and
oh yeah,
alone.
we were having a great time. They describe. I asked them what the sort of tone of the musical was going to be, and they said that they were trying to write Avenue Q2, which made me very happy. I
I'm
was like,
dumb and I
sold.
don't get the reference.
Avenue Q? Have you never seen?
Unfortunately, I don't.
Okay. Avenue Q is a musical. It is by the guys the who the book rather. Um, it's basically it's adult Sesame Street, and the music and lyrics were in part by Robert Lopez, who you might know as being the youngest person to ever get an EGOT, an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony. Um, and I believe one of those was for Avenue Q. It is basically a parody of Sesame Street, but very adult. If you've ever heard "The Internet Is for Porn," that song, that's from Avenue Q. Oh yeah, if you don't know Robert Lopez from his theater works, you probably know him from he's written a couple soundtracks for a few small movies. You might have heard of them. Frozen, um, Frozen 2, Coco, uh, the theme for WandaVision. A couple small things that you may or may not be familiar with. He's also a wonderful
Just
human
watched
being.
WandaVision for the first time. So good.
Yeah. Bobby's also just a wonderful both Bobby and Kristen, his wife, they're brilliant musicians and composers and just wonderful human beings. I used to do tech work. When I did my IT job in New York, they were one of my clients, and just fantastic. Bobby's first interaction with me was me cussing him out for dehydrating me the night before because I had just rewatched Coco. And he took it in his stride. He was like, "I am so glad that it moved you so much." I was like, "Me too. Also, fuck you." He's so wonderful. He got back at me the first time I had to go over there to fix a problem in like a physical computer issue. He sat down on the piano and wouldn't let me leave until I sang "In Summer" from Frozen. So, uh, him and Wallace Shawn are two of the nicest people I've ever met. But yeah, Avenue Q. It's a really, really good musical, and everybody should go listen to the soundtrack because it's fucking hysterical. And I think in part was what influenced Book of Mormon. It was sort of the spiritual successor to it. So yeah. That Avenue Q is also the one with the song that's everyone's a little bit racist sometimes. Like all of the songs are bullshit like that. It's very funny. And that's the sort of like irreverent musical tone they're going for with Isabel. Apparently.
Dang, that sounds cool. Did did Max's lineage come up at all or no?
I mean, in what regard? Because I mean, he did mention that
Okay,
he
I'm gonna.
mostly wrote like serious musicals before, which had me
Got
slightly
you.
concerned because I was like, what are we gonna get? Like, who am I? Noun for 601. Like, what is going to happen here?
He's one of the goofiest people I've ever met.
I
Max.
had
He's like
noticed.
just crazy and hilarious. So I'm sure he'll be on brief.
I'm very excited.
He's cool. That's funny. He hosted. I was like a huge inspiration for our yellow sessions was these sessions I did in New York last year, and Max actually hosted those. So full circle.
Oh, that's sweet. I had no idea. Oh man, I want to move home.
And I got him the music. Such a full circle thing. The reason I recommended him for the musical as well.
Awesome. I was worried about it when I saw there was going to be a Nouns musical, because with this we've been talking about this for God knows how long. Um, at least a year and change was when the conversation first started with like 41 and Seneca and like a handful of us over on Warpcast. Um, a while ago, like back when there was like sub 5,000 people, or sub 10,000 rather, closer to 5,000 because it was right after I joined and I'm like 5450. Um, but yeah, we were talking about it way back then, and then now seeing it, come to fruition, I was like, okay, well, how are they going to do this? But after meeting Max and Alone, I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, this will be fine. We're good. Like, this is gonna be hysterical. They did say they were gonna have a prop up soonish, so I'm very excited
Oh,
for
in
that.
LA?
No, I wasn't in LA. They said that on this show.
Oh wait. Oh, a proposal. Okay. I thought you meant a pop up.
No, that would be great. No, a proposal up to the Dow pretty soon.
Sick. Hopefully that goes through.
Yeah, I seriously hope
Is it?
so.
I'm guessing it's animated.
I think they're writing it to be a stage show.
No way. That's cool.
They're like the if I'm remembering correctly, they said puppets were going to be involved.
Dang, that sounds actually really cool.
Yeah, I mean, Avenue Q is basically Sesame Street but horny, so it's. I mean, yeah, puppets would kind of have to be involved for that. Am I misremembering? Brett, you were here. Do you remember? If you can.
Oh, I don't remember that specific, but I kind of assumed that it was going to be a stage thing.
Yeah. Hopefully, there will be
But
some way to consume
yeah,
it digitally, but hell, if there's not, I will bully them into giving me the score and I'll record it. Like, I got people. I could put Willie Falk on that track. But yeah. Anyway, we've been here for about an hour now. Somehow. I
You've
think
seen Tumlin's? Tumlin's done a couple of nouns, recent nouns. Did today's noun already
Jesus.
in the nouns channel. Oyster 1304. Exceptional.
Oh, I did see Nouns Fest did post another short today. The Smash by Mike Scott, which is hysterical, and I love this one. 7 hours ago. Here, I'll post a link up above in the tavern.
Listen with your heart, pray through your eyes, and think with your ears. Say it with me.
Wanna smash? It's adorable. Go check it out. Link above in the tavern. Otherwise, yeah, let's take a look at Oyster. Oh yeah, that was fast. Just 10 minutes ago. Did you already linked it? Yeah, you did. Also, Brett already linked to Smash before I could, so I'm going to delete my link and pretend it didn't happen. Did Nouns Fest post any other links to any other shorts today, I mean? No, the last one was Nouns Get Down. Okay.
no, that's the only one that I saw.
Yeah, I went to their... They did... Nouns Get Down is... Loading Nouns Get Down is fantastic. That's definitely one of my favorites, not just animation-wise, but just for the sheer amount of effort that must have took is astounding. But yeah. Other than that, was anything else major happening? Let's take a scroll. Let's go on a little scroll through the Nouns channel real quick. Oh yeah, I saw there's more of Tumlin's work. Da-da-dun-dun. Consistent. Ridiculously consistent. Yeah. All right. Well, with all of that out of the way, I was going to talk about Yelloween, but that mint ended. What did we end up with on that, by the way? Brett, do you know off the top of your head?
I think it was 1215,
That's pretty good.
1215.
Is that's not packs, right? That's of the individual.
No, that's individual.
Okay, that's I was about to be like, what the hell? But no, that makes a lot more
No.
sense. Awesome. Love it.
It'd be 405 packs,
It's pretty good.
which is still a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. All right, well, with all that done, I think we're about ready to wrap it up. So, thanks everybody for coming to Noun O'Clock Live at the Noun Square. I am Robot Fish Girl. We're going to be back here tomorrow once again. Didn't move all that much today. Going to be happening around 10 p.m. EST. I know yesterday I said today's show was going to be at around 11 p.m. EST, but that's because I didn't know that the time was going to change because I am, how you say, stupid. So about 10 p.m. EST tomorrow, if you can join us. In the meantime, don't forget to pick up Nomo Now number 1304, this beautiful hockey puck. Don't forget to check out the Yellow Collective auction, currently sitting at 0.02 bid from Satori. Collective Now number 374 is a beautiful Viking helmet, if that sounds interesting to you. Yellowcollective.xyz. Otherwise, don't forget to vote on all of the Nouns props, read them, and give feedback on the pending ones if you can. You do not need a noun to give feedback, so check that out. Otherwise, we've got all of these links pinned above the tavern for you to check out. If you're joining us from YouTube or Twitter and you want to see any of those links later, do not worry. They are all going to stay there. You can check out the tavern and see all of those later. Otherwise, enjoy this Sevish microtonal 22-tone 5/4 track that I decided to put for our outro music. And we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for coming. Linking to this track above in the tavern in case anybody wants to check out the full thing. It's very long.